Hi, Rich. You called me over because you wanted me to show. You wanted me.
Yes.
You wanted you to show me something.
Me to show you to him to show him. Some progress, as you can see. There isn't as many wires on the floor, so I've now cut it to the length that I want. So I've left a big swoop. I prefer a big swoop. So
that's what I've heard anyway.
Hey, that'll get tucked behind the carpet out the way, nice and neat. Then this sits inside the glove box. But I've managed to cut out all that. So I'm back to cutting lengths out again. But yeah, each wire's got rid of the join that I had and lost about that much length in it. So yeah, they're all trimmed down. If you stick your head in there, Mike, with your camera, and then twist around here, so everything's hooked up here now. So you've got your fuse box and your big major on-off switch, and then obviously all your wires come in here. I'm slowly neatening everything up, labelling everything, which is the main thing, because if we or anybody else is working on it, it's a hell of a lot easier to diagnose a fault for the cold start if you've got the two cold start wires to play with and make sure everything's working. The car has been running. We know it all works, which is why we're at this point now. What I've got to do now is basically the power wires for my switches, which will run over the top here and then back down into the fuse board. And then literally got the loom for the lander sensor, which is a little bit different because instead of us, basically, we're trying it with just one lander sensor. So obviously the ECU wants a lander sensor, but it's also got an AFR gauge. So instead of having two lander sensors doing the same job, we've tried to jockey off the one lander sensor to power the ECU and the AFR gauge. We can't see any reason why you can't do that, but we don't know if you can do that, if that makes sense. So that'll be left as was in that bird's nest there for now, just to see if it all works with the AFR gauge and the tuning side of things. Once I know that's all sweet, I make a really nice plug so that can then get disconnected and reconnected, or hardwire it, or whatever we decide to do, and hide it where we decide to hide it. But yeah, all the plastics have been on and off just to make sure everything fits. But yeah, good progress. And I've had to get myself a cushion because my ass is sore from sat on that metal lift.
So it's sore from that?
It's sore from that. Nothing else, viewers. It's sore from the ramp.
If you'd like to see more progress, like, share and subscribe as well.
How's it going, Rich?
We are making positive progress now.
Good to hear.
Yeah, it's been a long slog, a bit of a depressing long slog at the moment, but we're beating it. So we had it running. I think last section of the video I was saying that I was sorting out the AFR gauge because I've tried to link the two. I tried to link the lander for the ECU also to the same lander for the AFR gauge, and you can't do that. It conflicts. So that's now separate. So it's got a lander downstairs and a lander upstairs. The upstairs one is for the ECU. The downstairs one is for the AFR gauge. So that's all rigged up. Then when we were testing things, make sure it all started and everything else, when I started the car, the dash went off. When I turned it off and put the ignition on, the dash came back on again. So yeah, that was a big long slog of working out what had gone wrong there. There were wiring diagrams and bits and bats all over the place. Everything looked like it had everything and it should have worked and everything, but it didn't do until I searched the internet and found out that I was missing an earth. They didn't even list it as an earth on the wiring diagram I had. But anyway, that's working. The AFR gauge, turbo boost gauge, everything else is working. So I'm doing trinkety bits, cleaning up, tidying up, putting glove boxes in and bits of trim and everything else. So once all that's in, I can give it a road test. And Cole can finish his tune off. and everything else. So we are very, very close to handing it over. We've got 2 weeks left, 2.5 weeks, before he wants it, needs it, has to have it back. So yeah, fingers crossed we go to plan now. We're building it up, everything works, tweaking of his tune, and get some mileage on it. Then I can wash it because it is gross, and yeah, they can have his car back all shiny and new, and do a sexy handover video like we did with Pete's. But that's the plan. That's what I'm up to.
Nice.
Yeah, everything's hidden away and tidy. Under bonnet. So under bonnet's done. Under bonnet's done. Obviously, we've made the strut brace, which is to his request. Tops for the shockers, just to tie that up instead of seeing all them.
That is purely for show, isn't it?
It's just for show, yeah. A strut
Before
brace.
anybody says
a
anything.
strut brace that's got a shock absorber in it isn't a strut brace, and we know that. It's what he wanted, so we've done it for him. Because he's never ever seen one. We've never ever seen one because it don't function. So anyway, that's done. New air filter, red air filter to match his other little bits of red, and then Cole did some carbon skinning of his cam cover, just as a little bit of another trinkety, nice touch. So it's got like a red, black and silver chromy theme underneath bonnet, which is really smart. So the only thing I've got to do under here is wipers on, and yeah, oil change and wipers on, and that's it. It's done. So we're not far off. I think it looks pretty neat under there now.
It does, yeah. Looks nice. Pete. Jim Bob doing his own door trims.
Jim Bob doing his what?
Door trims.
Yes, so he's got a new interior because he didn't like the tweed. I like the tweed, but I'm not sure if it matches in that, if that makes sense. But he just dislikes tweed, full stop. So the tweed is going. So the door cards are off. He's getting them. Well, he's actually got a set of Mark III Golf GTI seats that were only available in Europe, not in UK. That came in 3 different colours, and he's ended up with a blue trim, which is the middlest, rarest one, he was telling me.
Yeah, okay.
He'll probably tell me it's wrong now. I've said that and put it on the internet. But yeah, so it's stock. So he's putting stock GTI seats in, which look the part, and it's more, it'll suit the car better, I think. Door cards, like I said, without the tweed on them. And then he's just done a few tweaky bits like
the marijuanas
on there, and a little bit on there. New gear knob instead of the fucking stupid spanner. I think that's the first time I've swore on this video, isn't it? Stupid spanner on it, so that's gone. That's a bit more user friendly now. And yeah, it's just had a right good clean up. New switchboards obviously in there, you've seen that already, but that's all working. I'll pull the bits of tape off when we're ready to go. And yeah, we're nearly there. Nearly there. I'm glad it's nearly there as well.
How long have we had it?
Too long. No, he dropped it off just before Accelerate, which was September.
Yeah.
When we already had stuff going off. And it turned out to be a hell of a lot more than what we thought it was going to be. But Jim Bob's been fine with it. At the end of the day, it's been here of it winter while we've been doing this steady away, as opposed to in his garage, just sat there. So he hasn't missed any trips or out. But yeah, we're nearly there. Keep chipping away. I'm hopefully at end of play today going to have all interior dash bits in, and then Jim Bob's fetching it, rest of interior, new seats and everything tomorrow, and I can get them thrown in.
Nice.
Yeah, we're looking good. We're on the home straight. Home straight. And then yeah, just get rid of all the storage that I've got in there, but most of it's all his stuff. So they're the wiring that I'm not using, because obviously that ECU does loads and loads of stuff. He's dropped some wind deflectors off and stuff. So yeah, get rid of all that, tidy it all up. He can put it in a cardboard box and store it at home. Oh, Lexus lights, have you done them?
No, I don't think we have.
So he's had some Lexus lights put in, which look
nice.
Look nice. I know he did put it on. He did put it on one of his forums,
the
and they didn't like it.
Well, we said we
But
did,
we
and he
said
went
we
with
did,
us.
so he went with us instead. But they do look the part. They suit the car well. So yeah, nearly there. So a few little tweaky bits he's done at outside, and then it's a shame most of it, all the hard work that we've done, is hidden away. But that's the whole point. You're not going to have an exposed wiring loom just for the sake of it because you made it look nice. But yeah, it's far better than it was before, obviously, because I don't know what had happened before. But yeah, home straight. Let's get it finished. Please subscribe to our channel and share all our great videos.